Hello, next video. Today we're gonna take a look at a team that is actually currently on rank 1 on the leaderboards for Pokemon Go PvP here right now. This team I found on Twitter. I'm going to most likely put in a screenshot right now of the tweet, but yeah, the player that got to rank 1 there, they usually get every season, I think, to rank 1 on the leaderboards. They're like insanely good player. I'm not 100% sure if they have any Pokemon in Shadow here right now. I would suspect either like the lead or the Sasop here as a Shadow, like the Dragonite or the Snorlax. Both of them would make a lot of sense. Also, the Pokemon in the back would make a lot of sense, which we have as a Shadow. We have in the back our Shadow Magnezone. I just used the Pokemon that I have. I know that they use the best buddy version of the Snorlax here, which we don't have. I could best buddy it. I'm just too lazy, to be honest. I'm currently working on stuff that I want to best buddy as well, which is just Spice. So I rather run with Spice around than with my Snorlax, which I can use for like 1 week a season. So we see here the Togekiss going out of this matchup, pretty decent matchup for us there. So we see the next opponent having a Gyarados lead. Against Gyarados lead, I'm going to go out into my Snorlax. If they have Dragon Breath, if they have Waterfall, you can easily stay in there and you're going to have a good time. It's like a 50-50, you don't really lose too much by staying in for a little bit and see which fast move they have. So that's kind of how you play this. And in general, about this team, I went 0-5 on the first set with this team and I was like, why did I went 0-5? In my opinion, I got A, extremely unlucky with like A, lag, B, debuffs and self buffs by the opponent. Like I had like 2 Togekiss boost against me and like I think 3 Moonblast debuffing me, which kinda hindered me a little bit. I played horrible and I didn't really think it was about the team. I don't think the team was the issue here. I think I was just super unlucky and I played horrible. So I went 0-5 first set and afterwards I only went very positive. I think I went 4-1 3 times and 1 time 3-2. So definitely a cool team. I climbed back up above what I had before. I'm now at 2,873 rating again. I started the team, I think, in 2,800, then climbed down to 2,730, and now I'm back up there. So I basically gained 150 points in my last 4 sets with this team, which is kind of nice. And we can see how we went on here. We also have here, by the way, the I think most battles of the last 3 sets that I played with the team, because you kind of have to get used to the team. You kind of also have to get used to the Pokemon to play with. You have to get used to some certain matchups. So example, Excadrill looks like a horrible matchup in general for your team. You have your lead, which is going to be the Dragonite, which will be weak against it. And you have also the Pokemon in the back, which are weak against it, which especially like the Magnezone, of course, cannot do anything against it, but you can still do some stuff here with this team against the Excadrill. It's definitely a Pokemon that I don't really like to face, but still a Pokemon that you can face and can still do something against it. We see them coming back in here. We go for 1 Wild Charge. Of course, double resisted still does way more damage than the Mirror Shot here, which is single resisted. We can see that they go for 1 Rock Slide here and they go into the Gyarados. I expected that team, but I couldn't really do anything about it, to be honest. This is a very strong team, which you might also see on my channel soon, because it's also one team that I used previously already. But yeah, we can see that we can go for 1 Body Slam here. This Body Slam should get the opponent pretty low if they're going to let this move go through, and they're going to let this move go through. I'm pretty sure I cannot shield anything here, but I'm still going to shield something here, because my only play here, I guess now, is to farm it down, survive with 1 HP and Dream, go for 1 Superpower here, swap into my Dragonite, go for another Superpower and win the game, but they actually already decided either this was a bait or a Superpower and then I lose anyway, so for them there was no win con anymore. Next opponent, Pink Curtain, here we see that they have the Excadrill in the lead again. Fine for us, of course, so we can go ahead and go for usually a bait first move here. You don't have to bait, but even if you bait, it's not the worst. Here they're going to shield up anyway. I wouldn't bait after this one. I would just go straight for the Superpower, to be honest. I think I don't always do this, but it's fine. We can go for 1 more Superpower here. We don't really need our health against the opponent's Pokemon anyway, against the opponent's Excadrill, as you're going to be able to just survive the mud shot damage anyway. We see the opponent going now for some superpowers, totally fine for us. We just want to get some extra energy here right now, trying to go up to 1 superpower so we can KO the opponent's Excadrill and see what they have in the back afterwards, as we see that we can go for the superpower now. And we're actually going to get the final shield by the opponent, which is very nice for us. They're going to go for their charge move now, totally okay for us. We can align our Dragon Knight against it. We could go for our charge move, but like it didn't work for that. We see the Florges in the back now, and this should be a pretty easy win here. It's basically the line that I already showcased on the first day of this cup, but reversed, which is a little bit awkward sometimes, I think, because you have a lead and also your C-swap that are all weak to fighting type moves, which, for example, if you face a Conkeldurr, which is most likely now a little bit more common, it's going to be a kind of nightmare, so I would still go for the Florges lead instead, but really depends on what you face, of course. We see a horrible lead here for us, of course. We see the Togekiss against us, which is something where you really want to swap out, and this is always a little bit awkward. They go now into their Snorlax. Of course, they're going to have now the health advantage because the charm damage does so much damage, and it's basically close to impossible to come back from this. Like, if you lose the lead hard, it's pretty rough. But also, another issue for those matchups in general is that a lot of times when they run a Charm user in the lead, they have an Excadrill in the back, because Excadrill is the easiest and best answer for the Metagross. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm going to expect that they have this Pokemon in the back, and I'm going to let this move go through. And I'm going to swap out immediately into our Magnezone now after they die, and we will see that they have actually no answer. Interesting. I wonder what they have in the back here. We see that they go for an Ancient Power. They actually have a Gyarados in the back. So we still might have a chance here, but it's going to be a little bit tough. They're going to shield up the first move, which is nice. But again, we don't really have a lot of health on our Magnezone here. I think it's really where the normal Magnezone is better. Normal Magnezone just allows you to survive some bomb moves, and I don't think the Shadow bonus really helps you too much. We can go for one more charge move here. We will be able to knock out the Gyarados, but at this point, our Dragonite still doesn't have the damage output that we need to KO the Fairy user here. So we can go for a Superpower, which is double resisted as well, and we will see that it does a little bit more damage. But yeah, it's still not good. Elephant Flusher, this is actually a player that I also met already in real life at the event in Bremen. A very good PvPer. Always basically up there. I remember his name still from like the earlier days of Go Battle League when I really grinded for the leaderboards. Like he was always up there. I battled him a lot of times, especially in this kind of league. So yeah, very good player here. We see another Excadrill in the lead. Fine for us. We can now go for one Superpower. We get the final shield by the opponent, and we will be able to shield up, and we should be able to win this in the 2-shield scenario as we survive the first move here. They're going to swap out perfectly into the Florges. That's kind of awkward for us as we now have to go into our Magnezone. We can go for one Mirror Shot here. We are all shieldless here, so they cannot shield anything. And I'm gonna go ahead and let the move go through, going to be the Moonblast. And I'm going to go and farm up a little bit extra here, because they're going to go for one Disarming Voice, which will not KO me here. But it's totally fine, because I'm just going to try to go to 1 HP here, so they don't get much farm with their Excadrill. And I'm just gonna go straight for the Wild Charge. Excadrill is already pretty low, but they're actually going to go ahead and go into their Snorlax. So this is fine for me. It's actually the same team that we already faced before, but they went into the floor just to catch the move, which is funny. And we will see that they go and have to throw against our Dragonite now. We should be able to still survive one charge move here, and I'm just going to not throw anything. I'm going to save 2 superpowers for the opponent's Snorlax. Snorlax should be in range for 2 superpowers after the wild charge, and we should be able to win this game here. Good game there. Very cool also that they have the hat on the Snorlax. I only have my XL Snorlax with the hat on. They most likely got it as well from, yeah, they definitely got the Hando version there from the Go Fest in Berlin. But we see here the next opponent going to the Snorlax. We can let one move go through, we can just literally let this go through, it's fine for us. And we can just farm up extra, go for one superpower, see if they want to let this go through or not. And they actually want to let this go through, which is really nice for us, because now we can actually just let everything go through, and I think we can farm them all the way down with lick damage alone. They're going to get to 2 moves anyway, I think, but it's fine because we get so much energy here. They go for and body slam only, which is really good for us. And now we have a lot of energy, we can realign, and they still have to throw a charge move against us. We will get them low enough that we would be even able to go into our Magnezone here, which should be able to farm them all the way down. And we will see here as well that they have to throw, but they don't throw. So that means we can go for one more body slam here, and we will be able to get the shield from the opponent. And I actually should have went into my other Pokemon which are going to be my Dragonite, but now we see that they have an Excadrill in the back, which I actually expected as well. That's a very common team right now, which is a little bit tricky for this team. But one more superpower coming through here, we'll be able to get the shield from the opponent. We can shield up here as well, and we can farm up a little bit extra here as we counted all the the fast moves of them. Go for one superpower, this should knock the opponent out here, and we can go still for one Dragon Claw hopefully against this Gyarados here. Let's see. They go for one crunch, they can KO us, but it doesn't really matter. We can farm them down and win this game here. Good game there. Next opponent, we see Gyarados against us again in the lead here, Shadow version, and they have Waterfall, so they're going to swap out into their Florges. Good for us, we have the Mirror Shot loaded for this Pokemon. Don't go for Wild Charge here, even though Wild Charge does more damage. Mirror Shot is a 2-shot basically after some farm down. They have basically no way of winning this matchup as far as I can see at least, and we can go ahead and go for one more Mirror Shot. Going to actually get the debuff as well, it's a 30% chance, it's pretty common. And they're going to bait us with the Disarming Voice. I can let this move go through, it's only Disarming Voice this time as well, it's debuffed, so we're going to be able to survive this. And we can go for one more Mirror Shot here. We are very low, which is good for us, because they're going to actually shield this, and we're going to be able to realign now against the opponent, go into our Dragonite again, and we have a shield advantage, we have switch advantage, we have all the advantages. We can go for one more Dragon Claw here, get this thing super low. We're actually going to shield this move up. No, we're not. We're going to let this move go through, and they have an own Dragonite in the back. We can go for one Dragon Claw, get this thing super low, and go into our Snorlax now, just farming this all the way down. There's nothing that they can do anymore, and we will be able to easily win this game here as well. And we will see that they go down by the lick damage, and we can go for one more superpower just to flex on them, because it still does KO them. Next opponent, we're going to see here Gyarados in the lead again. Depends on the fast move, it's kind of awkward. Okay, they have the Dragon Breath version, which is kind of awkward, so we're going to swap into our Snorlax. The Snorlax is going to be able to absorb the crunch. They don't get the debuff, which is very good for us, as we see a Mamoswine. This is actually something that I rarely see, like Mamoswine is a cool pick. I can go and, it's actually a cool pick, sorry. We can go ahead and go for one superpower. They shield up, they are one shield down, but of course, our team doesn't really like to face this Pokemon. But we can still go for one Mirror Shot after this. Let's see if they're going to bait us or not. They're going to bait us here, so we cannot farm up extra. Good play by my opponent. We can go for one Mirror Shot here, and we see that they have the Excadrill in there, and I can just forfeit because we kind of got hard-walled. Yeah, happens. Like, getting hard-walled is just a thing that happens in this meta kind of often, to be honest. Like, there's no team that doesn't have a hard wall for it. And yeah, I didn't get my Magnezone in any good matchup, so was not able to flip switch. So nothing I can do there really. We see the next opponent here. We see another Snorlax against us here. We actually go for the Body Slam just to troll them, and that they might think that's a superpower, but it's not. Now it's a little bit awkward. We're going to shield the move up. It's going to be a superpower by them, and we will be able to farm them all the way down now. It's going to be another superpower, which is fine, but we get all the energy. They go into the Metagross, and they're actually going to throw not yet, which is bad for us, because we can go for one Wild Charge, but it's going to be a tough one to actually still win this game here. We can shield up the move here. It's going to be the Earthquake, which is good for us, as we can go for one more Wild Charge, which would be able to KO the opponent. And we will see that they're going to shield, of course. They're gonna finish us off now by one Meteor Mash. We are so debuffed that one Meteor Mash even KOs us. And we see the Gyarados coming back in. We have to store some extra energy here, and we have to kind of try to catch the move, I think, on our Snorlax. Let's see if we can do it. And we will be able to do it. But I actually don't know how I still lose this match. I can go for one more Body Slam, but I think they are just barely not in range for their Metagross to... Yeah, they get one extra fast move here. I can go for one superpower, and the superpower will just barely not KO them. And they will not get to another charge move here, which means we will be actually able to still win this there. Superpower on the Dragonite is just too strong, to be honest. It's like such a good move. As we see another Snorlax lead, so many good Shadow Snorlax. I don't know how people get them, but I don't get them, so I'm kinda sad about that. But we see that we can swap into our own Snorlax. We're gonna shield the superpower up here as well. Kinda all even so far. They can go for another one if they want to. And I think they want to, so we're going to let this move go through. Go ahead and throw some Body Slams against the Florges, and we actually should be able to go into our boy in the back there, our Magnezone, and kind of lock them into that. I wonder if we're going to do this here actually. I don't know how I played this match up. They're actually going to throw the charge move here anyway. I think it's going to be a Moonblast, so it doesn't matter. No, it's a disarming voice, so I can go for another body slam here. Do we just knock them straight out here? Let's see. We're actually going to knock them out, which I guess is fine then. We see the Gyarados coming in. I'm going to let the move go through. I'm actually going to go into my Dragon Knight and stay in here because I know that they have these Snorlax, of course. Go straight for the superpower here. They didn't expect this one. And I can just stay in here as well. Let the move go through and go back into our Magnezone in the back and farm them all the way down. They're going to surrender now, and we can take a look at the final game here. This team is definitely such a good team now, like back to 2873. I actually really wanted to stream today on YouTube here, but you have to wait 1 day for them to enable streaming for you for whatever reason. So I'm going to hopefully stream tomorrow. I'm not gonna like promise anything, but I'm going to try to stream tomorrow on YouTube. Going to be interesting. Haven't streamed for at least a year, like 1.5 years in general, so would be interesting. I really wanted to stream today, but didn't work out. Hopefully it does work out tomorrow, and I hope I see you tomorrow then when we stream here. Going to be funny. Going to try to stream my legend push as I'm now very close to it, and we will see that the opponent has a Togekiss now, which we should be able to deal with pretty easily with our Snorlax here. They're going to shield it up. The only way to win this game now still is if they get the boost here, and they didn't, so we will win this final game as well. But yeah, this team is currently the rank 1 in the world, and that's for a good reason, because this team is actually a lot of fun to play, and it's very, very good. I can highly recommend it to you. Congrats to the person that got to rank 1 in the world with this, and thanks all for watching. See you in the next video. Have a great rest of your day. Bye.